Good day everyone. Good day ma'am. I am Cohleen Rein Peñaruya from BSA first year, room 302. And for today's reporting, I will be discussing about voting theory by Borda count method. First is we have our objectives. First is to define Borda count and determine winners using the Borda count method. So for the second objectives, we will have 3 examples on how to solve or find the winners using the Borda count method. Then first is, before we start with the Borda count method topic, let's define first what is voting. So as we all know, voting is can be seen in or can be act in an election, right? So for the definition of voting, so it is a process of choosing someone or something in an election. The result depends on the number of votes received. So yeah, it's really just not that broad. Actually, choosing one to be the winner in an election or in a group that you need to vote. So it is numbers of support against the proposal determining its outcome. So determining the result of voting is not as simple as it is. There are different voting systems that have been used in many democratic forms of government nowadays, and one of it is Borda count method. So let's define Borda count method. Borda count method was named after Jean Charles de Borda in 1733 to 1799. So next is that a boarding count method includes points that are assigned to candidates based on their ranking. So for the last choice is it is equal to 1 point. For the second to last choice and so on, or I mean for the second to last choice is it is equals to 2 points. So if there are number of candidates in an election, each voter selects his or her first choice, second choice, and so on. So example, if there is 4 choices in an election, so one voter should pick his first choice, second choice, third choice, and fourth choice. So if there are 4 choices, for the last, if you have for your last choice, it will receive the 4 point. I mean the 1 point, the leastest points in the election. So it will be 1 point for the last choice. For the third choice, or the second to the last choice, it will be 2 points. For the second choice, it will be 3 points, and for the first choice, it will be 4 points. Since this is your first choice, so it will have the biggest points. It will receive the biggest points in the election. So the candidate with the largest total points from the number of voters is declared the winner. Biggest largest point that a candidate received from the voters will be the winner in the election. So let's start with our examples. Okay, now let's solve for the first example. So first is ito na discuss na natin kanina, which is if there are 4 choices in an election, the first place will have the 4 points, which is the biggest points in the election. Because there are four candidates, so the biggest point is the 4 points. So first place is 4 points, second place is 3 points, third place is 2 points, and the last place or the fourth place is equal to 1 point only. So first is our first example. So 50 committee members of a school organization would like to hold a welcome party for the newly elected members of the organization. They are asked to rank the 3 locations where they could possibly hold the event. use the Borda count method to determine the place of the event. So here we have the table below. So in the table, it includes the locations of the events or of the events. So first we have the Matina Gym, Matina Oval Track, and Matina BE Room 302. So these are the candidates. So we have 3 candidates for this election. Then on the right side, we have the rankings. So these are the votes of the voters, which they rank. So yung rank nila is which, what I mean for the ranking is the places. So third place, third place, second place, and first place, because there are 3 choices. So they only have until third place to choose, which they want in for their location for their event. So next is we have the number of voters. So here are the number of voters who voted for the election. So first is we need to start with the first location or the first candidate. So Matina June. Kita ba? Basta Matina June. So first is, let's put the places first. First we have three candidates, so there are 3 places. The first place, second place, and the third place. So these are the third place, first place, and second place votes. We add all the number of voters that voted for first place, second place, or third place. So first we have the first place. So let's add first how many voters selected first place for the Matina Gym. So let's see. So the first 9 voters, they select Matina Gym as third place, so it's not included. For the second, for the 11 voters, they selected Matina Gym as first place. So 11 plus, for the 13 voters, they selected Gym as second place. For the 6th, they selected third place. For the 8th, they selected first place. So 11 plus 8 plus third, for the 3 voters, they also selected first place for Matina Gym. So plus 3. So 11 voters plus 8 voters plus 3 voters is equals to 22 voters. 22 voters. And since first place is equal to 3 points, which is the highest points, it will be 22 times 3 is equals to 66. So for the first place of Matina Gym, we have 66 points. Next is the second place. So let's find the number of voters who selected Matina as second place. So we have the number of 13 voters who selected Matina as second place. So 12 times 2 points, since it's second place, is equals to 24 points. Next is the third place. So let's find the third place. So we have the number of voters of 9 and number of voters of 6. So we have 9 plus 6 is equals to 15. 15 times 1 point, since it is the last place, so it has the least point, so which is 1 point. So 1 point is times 15 is equals to 15 points. And then we total all the points. So 66 plus 24 plus 15 is equals to 105 points total for the Matina gym. Next is we have the second location, which is Matina Oval Track. We also have 3 places, right? Since there are 3 choices. So first place votes, second place votes, third place votes. First, again, let's start with the first place. So let's find the number of voters who selected Matina Oval Track as their first place. So we have number of voters, which is 13, and number of voters of 6 selected Oval Track to be their first place. So 13 voters plus 6 voters. You see this? Ito ha. Dito mag-base. Okay? Like that. Number of voters. Number of their rankings. Okay? So for their Matina, we have the rankings here. 1-1 for 13 voters and 6 voters. So 13 voters plus 6 voters equals to 19 voters. So since it is the first place, so it has the highest points, so 3 points. So 19 times 3 is equals to 57. 57. Next is for the second place. We also have 2, 9, the ranking 2 and the ranking 2 here for voters 9 and voters 8. So 9 plus 8 is equals to 17. Times 2, 2 points, 34. Kita ba? 34. Next is the third place votes. So, let's see. So, we have here ranking 3 and ranking 3. So, for the voters 11 and voters 3. So, times 1, since it is the leastest place, which is equal to 1 point. So, 14 times 1 is equals to 14. Then, total sum of all points is equals to 14 plus 34 plus 57 is equals to 105. Okay? Next is we have the Matina PE room 302. 302. So, first place voters, 5 votes. Second place. So, for the first place votes, let's see, we have number 1, only for, ranking 1, only for 9 voters. So, 9 times 3, since it's the greatest or the maximum points for the first place. So, 9 times 3 is 9, 18, 27 points. Next is the second place votes. So, let's see. We have rank 2, rank 2, rank 2. So, 11 voters plus 6 voters plus 13, plus 3 voters. 20 times 2 is equals to 40 points. Next, we have the third place voters. Votes, I mean. So, let's find the third rank. So, we have 3, rank 3, rank 3. So, those are the voters number of 13 and number 8 voters. So, 21 times 1 equals to 21. Then, the total, so that's 88. So, here now we already have the totals. Whoever gets the largest number of points will be the winner. So actually we have 2 here. So actually I didn't. Yeah. So maybe they will just choose another election. That is for the first example. Next we have the second example. Okay, now this is the first time I will solve my example. So, bear with me if the results are. We have our second example. So, let's find out. Since our first example, there are two winners. So I hope that in our second example, we have just one winner. Because actually, I didn't really, results are kind of an error. Yeah. So for our second example, the CAE Council is planning to release merchandises for the intramurals next month for the department. The creative committee posted 4 choices to be ranked by everyone in the department. Use Borda count method to determine the most favorable merchandise to be released. So actually here, okay lang ata. Any how many winners, or like if there are double winners, since it's favorable merchandises. Okay, so we have here the 4 merchandises to be ranked, or 4 candidates. So we have the t-shirt, the bomber jacket, the pins, and the plastic hand fan. So next here on the right side we have their rankings. Okay, rankings from the number of voters. So we have here 6 groups of voters who rank the in the candidates. So first we have the t-shirt muna. So since there are 4 choices, so there are first place votes, second place votes, third place votes, and fourth place votes. Since there are 4 choices, there are four places. Okay, so in ranking there are also 4 rankings. So first we have the first place of votes. So let's find in the ranking. So we have rank 1 and rank 1 for the number of voters of 63 and 60. So 63 voters plus 60 voters is equals to 123. So times 4. Since first place is equals to 4 points. Since the total places is 4 places. So in the last place, which is the least points is 1 point. So third place is 2 points, second place is 3 points, and the first place is 4 points. So we we multiply the number of voters to the number of points in a place. So we have 4 points. So 123 times 4 points